He is able to dictate a game and the perfect profile of a midfielder, or his talent seems to have no limits, are just a few quotes that people have used to describe Angelo Stiller, or as his German teammate Kimmich would describe him, he's someone who's just got balls. You may not have heard of Stiller except if you're a Madrid fan, as Toni Kroos himself apparently has recommended Real Madrid to buy him after Modric's departure this summer and Kroos himself who hung up his boots last season. But who is Angelo Stiller? What's his full story? Is he really a clone of Kroos? And will he be joining Real Madrid this summer? Let's take a look. After Germany lost against Spain in the World Cup semi-finals of 2010, Angelo Stiller joined the youth squad of the record-breaking champions of Germany, Bayern Munich. And as these talents usually do, Stiller flew through the youth teams of Bayern and in the 1920 season settled in at the Bayern reserves team, playing in the German 3rd division. However, just a year later, even though Stiller would never play a game of Bundesliga football wearing a Bayern Munich shirt, he did however get 2 appearances in the Champions League, facing Atletico Madrid and Lokomotiv Moscow, even though it was only for a few minutes. And at this point, the defensive midfielder had settled in Bayern's second team, but having gotten a taste of playing on the biggest stage possible in club football, Stiller was hungry for more. And time was on his side. Stiller's contract with Bayern was running out, so he used this opportunity to head to the Bundesliga side, Hoffenheim. Because one of the main reasons why he joined them was because his mentor, Sebastian Hoeneß, had taken over as their new manager. But things didn't really go as planned. After a poor season from Hoffenheim, and also not really an outstanding one by Stiller either, the German manager was fired and got a job not far from his previous employer, VfB Stuttgart. This however left Stiller at Hoffenheim, whose performances didn't really stand out due to his injuries throughout the season and just not getting enough game time. And before you know it, summer was right around the corner again, and Stiller wasn't really happy at all how his career was progressing, feeling like he had become stagnant, looking for a change. And he didn't have to look far. Hoeneß's team paid just €5.5 million to sign the defensive midfielder, and this season was when Kroos's comparisons started flooding in. And for good reason. Stiller admires Kroos and believes he is the best German player to ever grace the pitch, which becomes visible when you see how he likes to control the game in front of him, dropping deeper to escape pressure. And on top of all of that, when the build-up play is fulfilled, Stiller would slowly push forward to add pressure, just like Kroos did. He's definitely not the fastest on the pitch though, and relies on the positioning and quick thinking to assist the team. And with appearances like this and the trust of Hoeneß, Stiller became integral to the team, barely missing a single minute of play and quadrupling his market value that year. These performances also became visible in the Bundesliga table, with Stuttgart qualifying to play in the Champions League for the first time in 14 years, and even reaching more points than Bayern that season, even if it's just one. But that season, there was another team that you might have heard of that went undefeated and won the DFB Cup that year, as well as the league itself, having Stuttgart come second. But these types of performances also brings interest from other clubs. Hansi Flick, previous Bayern manager who worked with Stiller briefly, was now looking to upgrade his Barcelona squad and was interested in signing the midfielder as he was a big fan of his playing style. However, due to Barcelona's money troubles, the transfer didn't come to fruition. Even when asked about a possible return to his youth team, the club that his whole family supports, Stiller answered, "Nope. I currently feel very comfortable at VfB Stuttgart. At the moment, there's no reason for me to think about leaving VfB." And so, Stiller decided to stay with Stuttgart and play there another season, but his performances didn't go unnoticed by Julian Nagelsmann, who gave him the call-up to play for Germany against Hungary and the Netherlands, receiving positive, reinforcing words from captain Joshua Kimmich, who stated that Stiller is a player who has balls, who wants to receive the ball and play football. But even though he only played 8 minutes in both of those games combined, Stiller has since been called up to every German national game since, and has also played a role. But now, at the end of the season, maybe due to the departure of Guirassy or failing to stay consistent, Stuttgart ended up coming 9th in the league, and didn't even qualify for the Champions League knockout stages either. But even if it may have been upsetting, Stiller was definitely the one to watch. doubling his market value and grabbing the attention of his idol, Toni Kroos. Because even though Real Madrid had thrashed Stuttgart 5-1 at the Bernabeu in their first Champions League match day last season, Madrid didn't have their usual dominating appearance that year. And with Modric's departure and Kroos being good buddies with new manager Xabi Alonso, he personally recommended the Los Blancos to sign the defensive midfielder. However, Stiller's contract is until 2028, and with Liverpool having openly stated that they are targeting to sign the midfielder, Stuttgart has set the bidding price to start at €60 million, gunning for a transfer record fee. But now, with Viets having joined the Scousers, it's looking unlikely that they will have enough funds to house both Germans at the club. With Madrid on the other hand, according to the German media, all of it is just rumours right now, with nothing happening at this very moment. But when Madrid comes calling, I don't think it will be long before we hear at least a statement from Stiller's side that he's interested, or from Stuttgart looking for a bigger payday. But what do you think? Do you think Stiller is the next Toni Kroos and could be the one to revitalise Madrid next season and lead Germany to World Cup glory again? Or do you think he will stay in the Bundesliga for another season? Please leave a comment below and get the conversation started in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next one. Bye!